My name is Emily Chang, and today I'll be leading you in a mini sequence of poses that is aimed at the heart chakra. So many people believe that the heart chakra is the center of the soul and the spirit, and is associated with openness and with vitality and with joy. So we're gonna open up our heart chakras, especially since so many of us spend our days in a closed or hunched position over keyboards or phones or behind the steering wheel. So we're going to do a lot of chest openers and focus on this expansiveness in our heart chakras. So today we'll get started with just some cactus arms with deep breath. So find a comfortable seated position, and then you can take your arms up high. Take a deep breath. And feel the stretch and the constriction along your back, and then up. And do a few of these with your own breath. And if you want, you can constrict your throat just a little bit so that almost feels like a wave with your breath. And your hands are out in front of you, fingertips stretching out. Let's do 3 more breaths. Now gently float your fingertips down to the floor. We're going to just do some gentle twists. So I'm going to take my right arm, put on my left knee, and then reach my left hand behind me and sit up straight. Just gentle twist. Now, breath in, and then breath out on the other side. Beautiful. So at this point, we're going to go into some cat-cows. So come down with your elbows above your wrists, your shoulders above your elbows, so tabletop position, and your hips above your knees. Take a deep breath in and out. So you want to feel the space between your vertebrae. And then in the cow, you're stretching your chest, your heart chakra forwards, and the creases of my arms are facing forward. My fingertips are sprayed. I'm making room in my back, and then the chest, that openness. Let's do 3 more of these. And when I'm in my cat, my head, the crown of my head is pointed towards the ground. So I'm looking down or back towards my knees. And then in my cow, I'm looking straight ahead and I'm feeling the expansiveness across my chest. Great. So when you've done your cat-cow, you feel comfortable, we're going to come back into child's pose. So just put your feet behind you, toes touching, and then knees apart, and stretch your arms in front of you. I like to do my hands together like I'm accepting the offering. Take a deep breath. You can lower your forehead to the ground. So there's modifications. If your sit bones don't go all the way to your feet, that's fine. You can spread your feet further apart if that's more comfortable, or more narrow. Try to listen to your own body and do what feels comfortable. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to come up into our first downward dog. And right now I'm just pedaling my feet back so I can feel stretches in the back of my legs. And my shoulders, I'm trying not to sink in too deeply, so I want to have some integrity in that shoulder girth, but I'm, again, twisting the creases of my arms towards the front of my mat, and my fingertips are sprayed, and my weight is evenly distributed. What I'm doing right now is called walking the dog, so pushing one heel down and then the other. Sometimes looking under my arm, whatever feels good. Okay. So after you've walked the dog, come into a plank position. And there's modifications here. If you prefer, you can put your feet on the ground. And alternatively, you can be on your toes. And then we're going to do have a chaturanga. So you're going to have the elbows scraping against the side of your body, your chin out a little bit, and so you're leading with your chest. And then from this position, we're going to go into cobra. So we're pulling our chest forward, and you can, the back of your feet and your legs are on the ground for cobra. Right now I'm doing drunken cobra, which is where you can look over your shoulders. It doesn't have to be high. So baby cobra, just a little off the ground, especially if you're just waking up and getting started for the day. Or if it's more comfortable, you can go a little higher. Deep breath. So your legs should be engaged. The tops of your feet pushing down against the mat. And then the next in breath, you're going to come back into downward dog. So now this time we're going to come into warrior one. It's going to be slightly different than maybe the warrior one you know. So take your right foot and bring it in between your hands. And then rotate your back leg down. So the heel is on your mat. And then windmill your arms up. This is warrior two. Feel the expanse. And then for warrior one, your feet are, the weight is equally distributed. And then I want you to see, for opening up the heart chakra, instead of arms just straight up, we don't want to raise or have our shoulders up by our ears, but pull the shoulders down. And then you're going to do cactus arms. And then breath in. And then cactus arms down again. We'll do this 3 more times. My weight is in between my feet. Is equally distributed between my feet. And my feet are about hips width apart. Every time I go into cactus arms, I sink a little deeper into that front knee. Okay, and when you feel like you've done your breaths, I want you to put your hands on either side of your front leg and then bring it back into the plank position. And we're going to go again into chaturanga. Again, put your knees on the ground. You can have your knees up. Protect your back. You don't want to you don't want to hurt yourself. So listen to your body. So you're going to take your elbows against the side of your chest. Come down to chaturanga. And this time, if you want, you can go to upward dog. So in upward dog, you're on the top of your feet rather than having your legs on the ground. Take a deep breath. And then come into downward dog. Beautiful. And this time, we're going to go into warrior two, warrior one again, but we're going to lead with the left foot this time. So bring the left foot between your hands, and then windmill your arms up, warrior two. And then rotate your hips so they're forward, and take your arms up. And we're going to do some more cactus breaths. And again, my weight is equally between it's distributed between my 2 feet. If you feel unstable, you can bring your feet a little further apart. If they're all in one line, it's easier to left or right. And shine your heart chakra, the middle of your chest up towards the sky. Feel that deepness, that expansiveness. Okay, let's do one more. Now at this point, take your hands down to the mat, and we're going to do One more chaturanga. So come forward, lead with your chest, open up, so your choice, up dog or cobra. And then come back to downward dog. Nice, stretch it out. And then come to seated position. Just whatever is comfortable for you. If sitting directly on the mat's uncomfortable, you can put a pillow underneath or a block. So we're gonna do one more pose. So first take a deep breath. And this is called bridge pose. So put your feet towards the end of the mat, and then lie down, and then bring your knees up and your feet to the mat, and then see if you can wiggle your shoulders so that it's only the outside of your shoulders touching the ground. There's a little bit of an arch. And then very gently, you're gonna bring your tailbone up towards the sky. And if you want extra openness, you can clasp your fingers so that you're getting kind of an opening, a stretch across the front of your chest. And if a full wheel is in your practice, you can go into that. Otherwise, just stay in this bridge with me. Try to engage your glutes and the back of your thighs, so protecting your back. And if it's more comfortable to unclasp your hands, that's great. You can just have them to the side. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Excellent. So very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lower yourself back to the mat so that your entire back is now again on the mat. And then go ahead and put your legs out straight. And we're going to go into our final relaxation pose where we integrate all these poses and movements together. And so it's called Shavasana. So get comfortable. You can have your arms out, stretched a little to the side, palms up. I like to have my feet about hips width distance apart. And then I close my eyes. We're going to spend about 2 minutes in this pose. You don't have to control your breath anymore. Just let it go natural. And enjoy this time. And let your body integrate all you've done. Okay, slowly, over the next few breaths, I want you to start to wiggle your toes and your fingertips. Maybe stretch a little bit with your arms above your head, putting your toes down. And slowly roll to one side in a fetal position. You can cradle your head for a moment. When you're ready, slowly push yourself back up into seated. So, once you get there, take a deep breath. Let it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste.